Morning, it's 6 o'clock. I got here about 10 or 15 minutes ago. Kit's all set up. I can see a fish that's just rolled out there on the 20 yard depth mark. Almost light enough. About 5 minutes and I'll be able to put the baits right where I want them. All settled in. Well, that didn't take long. I'll stay until 4 o'clock or so today. Obviously last week we got that run at 3:30, so I think it's worth staying around. Early sessions I always hang around for most of the day until sort of late afternoon or early evening, just to sort of figure out the patterns, see if the fish, I can catch anything later in the day. Later in the season when I came across it, there we go. Does feel like a good one. How about that? Oh, might be a 20. Certainly an upper double. Let's get this sorted. Well, what do you know? I've got two. Hold on. There's one in there. There's one in there. Mad morning. Blog time. I've got two. One in the net, one in the wave stream. I was just about to take the rods out. I had this in the net, just about to take the rods out, and it went off. So I had two fish in the net, and I just transferred this one in here, because this is the better one. I think this is one of the fish that swam in. Could be one of the originals though, it's difficult to say. Right, let's get this done quickly. This one's 16 pounds, just over. I thought it was going to go a bit bigger, but looking at it in the back now, yeah, it's a nice double, right? It's a lovely nick. There you go, first fish. When they do that, don't grip them tight. That way they won't shoot off. There you go, 16 pounds, Crystal Lakes common. Put up a good scrap, I thought it was a lot bigger on the end. Right, let's put this one back. I'll take a picture off the film. Lovely. This one's 8 or 10 pounds. Been rested in a net, so it's going to be a little lively. Like an eel actually. There you go. 2 runs in 2 minutes. Let's put that back. Well, that was a hectic few minutes. Let's get those rods sorted out, get them back out again. Hopefully they won't be the only runs of the day. Coffee's cooling off. I get it while it's hot if I can. At this rate I'm going to have to go on the internet and order another 20 leads today, I think. Yesterday I had 10 left, I've got 6 left now. Of the ones that I bought off the internet. I've got some other 2-ounce leads, but I prefer to use these ones if I can. Right, let's just have a look at that. Look. Back of the thumb. Oh yeah. Okay, so I've got this with me. If the hook's alright, it's not peened over or the tip's not flattened, then I'll just give it a couple of quick strokes, like that. It makes all the difference. Oh, yeah, that works. Okay. Getting through vanilla spice pop-ups like crazy here, aren't they? They're working well. I must admit, when that left-hand rod went off in the showing margin, I was a bit surprised. I always am. I've started using these little screw attachments for putting the pop-up on. It's a lot easier than using floss. And I've had Coop pick up these a number of times, as you know, and they stay on, so right, let's get this one out and another 16 bait, sorry. Oh, I think I've tidied up the swim. Rods and rigs and leads and coffees all over the bloody place. Oh. So yesterday I had those 2 early fish in the 8 and 9 o'clock, and I was thinking, I said, I hope they're not the only 2 fish I catch today, because otherwise I'll be sitting here all day, you know. Obviously the same. 2 quick fish, that was fast. I mean that left-hand rod ran out only 15 or 20 minutes beforehand. I definitely think the key here, what I'm doing is obviously I'm using good bait, but I'm casting exactly where I want to cast. I know exactly what I'm casting onto, and my bait are going straight on and around within like a couple of metres. So it's, you know, brilliant. That 16 pounder was nice. That was a nice fish. I like that one. That was clean. It was lovely. Thought it was bigger though. The way it wasn't like that smaller one, which is tap tap tapping and, you know. Yeah, and the bigger ones also, they seem to come to the surface and sort of, you know, lollop around a bit, don't they? And that one did that. I thought, it didn't look huge in the water though, I've got to say. When I saw it in the water, I was thinking, yeah, it's a good double. Yeah. So it's difficult to say if that's an original or if that's one that swam in. There's a high chance it's an original. But they'd been in here for years and been caught a lot, and that fish was quite clean, so I think maybe that's one out of the river or nearby lakes, which shall remain unnamed. Yeah. So it's gone quite well these last 2 mornings. I definitely think we're on for another one now. So that was the right hand rod and the left hand rod. So we've got 2 rods working. Let's see if we can get the middle rod working, and we'll have a really good day then. So I only had 3 rigs left this morning, which I put on the rods, which is why I sharpened those hooks on those 2 rods that I had the runs on. But I prefer to put a new rig on. Each time, rather than sharpening. It's a confidence thing as much as anything, but it's also practical and sensible to actually put a fresh rig on that you know is sharp, and you know. So I've made up another 4. This is the 5th one, and that should be enough for the day, I reckon. These are the little screw ring fittings that I'm using. I've had them in my tackle box for quite some time actually. I mean like years. But I never really felt confident with them. And that's because I never really used them, and also when I got them I was doing a lot of very hard long casting, and I felt that they wouldn't hold the pop-up on, or you know, the pop-up would come loose. So I decided not to use them, carry on tying my boats on. So there you go. That's my choddy. Standard, quite simple, quite straight, although I tend to push that loop closer to the shank, like that. And then I just put one of these ring swivels on. And obviously the ring goes on the leader. So about that long, a couple of inches, and then just twist that round, and then give that 4 twists. Pop it back through the loop on the swivel, give it a good bit of spit. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. This is always the fiddly bit, getting it back through that loop. Let's just push that swivel down a bit. There you go. It's giving me plenty of room. This is the bit that takes the most time. Get it back through there. It's a bit tight. There you go. Also the light helps. My eyesight isn't what it used to be. Yeah, that's good. I use these crimping pliers, which are real handy for holding on to the end of the rig. This, which you can't get anymore, it's a Shimano company called Ace Tackle. It was led by a few good anglers, but as soon as they came into business, as soon as they seemed to go out of business, I think Shimano was cutting back and this is just one of the things they cut back on, which is a shame because ace tackle was good tackle, the hooks were good, everything was good. My tackle box is full of bits of line and ends. I always solder blob this end as well because there you go, right over the 20 foot mark. So that right hand rod might be going off soon. Right, that's all sorted. I've got enough rigs now to last me. So I've had my 2 fish, I might as well go home. There's a fish rolling out over there. I've seen a few fish rolling over there actually this morning. So they're not just all along here, there's a few dotted around here and there. So that's pretty much what you're going to catch here is fish like I caught this morning, with the odd big one thrown in. That's what it seems to be like anyway. But you know, could have a run of big fish. You just don't know. I think that's what I like about it at the moment, is that I really don't know what I'm going to catch. I mean, I know I'm going to catch some small commons and the odd sort of mid-double mirror. But yeah, as far as anything bigger concerned, that's an unknown quantity at the moment. So basically I've decided to give it about 30 minutes or so, and then instead of sitting here wondering, I'm going to whip the rods out, the middle and the left hand rod, and quickly put on a new rig. I'm happy with what I've got on. I'm pretty sure that they'll be fine, but I'm only pretty sure, I'm not 100% sure. And that thought just occurred to me, you know, so I thought, right, okay. I'll give it half an hour. If I get any rod top bounces or anything like that, then obviously, you know, I'm going to change the rig straight away. And it only takes a few minutes to pull it out, pop a new rig on, and recast it straight onto the spot. I know exactly where I'm fishing because of the lines in the water. So yeah, I'm feeling the leads down. Taking a while, dropped all the way through 20 feet of water, and it's hitting the bottom with a nice thump. I've cooled down now. I think I'm about to put my jacket back on again. Yesterday, it was sunny, it was rainy, it was cold, it was sunny, it was raining, and I was up and down, putting my jacket on, taking my jacket off. Yeah. That's typical spring for you, isn't it? Well, like I say, hopefully that wasn't it. I know I'm happy, obviously. I had 2 runs, but yeah, I'm here for a good few more hours, so I wouldn't mind catching at least another one. But I have a feeling that it could be a good day. I could get a couple more. We'll have to see. It's still only 8 o'clock. We didn't get our first run until 8 o'clock or so yesterday, so I think we've got definitely up until 11 or 12 will be the best period of the day on here, with the conditions that we've got for sure. So I've got another 3 or 4 hours, what I call good fishing period. So, like I say, because I've got a few doubts about those rigs, I mean, I tested them, you know, they're sharp, they're prickly and the rest of it. I can't sit here with doubts. I don't think you should do that. I think if you're worried about how your rig is sitting or whatever, nip it out, check it, you know. It's like the other week when the coop picked up my pop-up. I sat there for about 10 minutes and I just thought I've got to take that rig out and see if the pop-up's still there. And of course it was. But, you know, there you go, left-hand rod liner. It just wobbled a little bit. No coot in sight, so that rod might go off again. If anything happens, I'll let you know. Okay, so I've just changed those two rigs. Like I said I was going to do. I probably didn't even wait 10 minutes. Once I got those rigs tied up, it was like, yeah, okay. So, there you go. Let's test it. Yeah, so that's sharp, but that's catching. And probably alright. Let's check this one here. This is the second one from the middle rod. Yeah, again, look at that. That's catching, so they were fine. I'm quite happy with the way I sharpen the hook. Test the hook and check a hook, you know, to make sure everything's alright. But, you know, if those doubts creep in, you're sitting there, aren't you? And you're just like, you know, confidence is everything. When you're confident, you fish better. When you fish better, you catch more fish. So, no point sitting there worrying yourself about it. You know, take the rod out, recast it.